Hello and welcome to another Zwift racing video. This is stage 4 of Flamme Rouge Racing's Tour Britannia, and this is the Muckle Yin course, 2 laps of the Muckle Yin. I skipped making a video for stage 3 because it was an individual time trial that was like 5 ascents of the city and Sker north side and 4 ascents of the south side, so not particularly interesting thing to watch, so I've skipped that. So back to a more conventional race format for this one, and whilst this course isn't particularly crazy and doesn't have any like insane elevation in it, the 5 segments, the way they were spaced out, really made for a very tough race here. So I'm going to skip ahead straight to the first segment, and that first segment was the breakaway Bray reverse, which was a sprint segment, and it's a bit difficult to see where the segment marker where it starts because of all the name tags and riders in the way. But I think I kind of got it pretty okay. And then there's some pretty fast guys in this as well. So my aim was just to kind of hang on as best I can and try and benefit from their draft. And I did a kind of pretty okay sprint for me. Like not the best thing I've ever done, but not too bad. And ended up with 28.67 as my time. And I think I got 16th on the leaderboard. But leaderboard's kind of irrelevant. What you want to do is like do well in the GC. So I'll wait to see how I do on the results for that. Then 3 minutes later, which didn't feel like a huge amount of time, we're on to the Sker Summit North climb, and I've actually done slightly better on the sprint GC so far than I have the climb GC, which is a bit surprised by. I was expecting to do the opposite really, but so I've kind of maybe started to think I'll maybe pay a little more attention to the sprints, but I still want to do a kind of decent job, do the best I can on the climbs as well. So I also want to hang with the front group as long as I can. So I'm going to push here and try and put in a kind of decent effort. I actually kind of maybe take my eye off the ball a little bit here. So I think I've been a bit more tactical on the previous stages on the climbs, and I've like dropped to the back a little bit more and like tried to draft more efficiently off people and use them as markers. And on this climb, I was just kind of focusing on trying to stay with the front, which was not very tactical. I do manage to stay with them all the way to the top of the climb, and I'll put in a kind of reasonable effort. So yeah, not too bad on this one. I did notice that my heart rate was like maxing out at like 182, 183, and normally like my max is like 192. So I've got like another 10 BPM to go, but it's not kind of getting up there. So I'm wondering if I was a bit fatigued. I also noticed that like no one was cracking like the 3-minute mark on this, and I think they were on the individual time trial, so I think fatigue is kind of settling in for everyone on this now. Things start to splinter on the descent of the south side of the Sker here, and we end up with, it's a bit kind of fragmented. Then we end up with like 2 groups. We've got the front group and a chase group, and I'm in that chase group, but we do manage to catch up. We kind of make a bit of a push and catch up with the front group, and we kind of stay together until we get to the next segment. That segment was the breakaway Bray forward, and people are really feeling this one now. If you look at the numbers on the right, there's a lot of people just doing like 6 and 7 watts per kilo, myself included. I managed to like just about go into orange numbers for a split second, and there's a few guys that do manage to hit orange numbers, but there's a lot of people like not doing like monster sprints here. So I think the fatigue, like everyone was like really feeling the fatigue at this point. Then we come to the 4th segment, which is the Sker Summit South, so it's the road side. And this is where things kind of start to go wrong for me. I lose the wheels of the front group on this one, and I can just see them kind of disappearing off into the distance. And I'm left to kind of make this climb up on my own. So not very good for making a time. There's no draft to gain from riding on my own here. And yeah, as we crest the top, I realise it's kind of game over. I've lost the wheels of the front group. Then after that, I rode with this guy until we got to the final segment, which is the Clyde kicker. And I was really like running on fumes for an effort on this one now. So I just do what I can. But I think like I maybe should have just like not gone for it here and maybe kind of had a go at this, on the second lap. But I just thought kind of in for a penny, in for a pound, and go for it. And I just do what I can, which is like, you'll see, like, yeah, it's not very much, but just give it a go. So with all the segments done now, I can see there's a fairly big group behind. So I'll drop back to those guys and spend the remainder of most of the race with those until we get to the Sker Summit South. And I actually managed to put in a slightly better time on this ascent. It's only by like 5 seconds, but slight improvement. And then as we go over the top of this climb, things start to kind of string out quite a bit, and I actually start to lose the wheels of these guys. And as we get halfway down, I've kind of like found myself stranded. I actually got kind of a bit uncharacteristically annoyed at this, a bit unusual for me, but I was a bit bummed out to be kind of losing the wheels this kind of close to the end. And so I kind of doubled down and thought when I got to the bottom of this descent, I thought, okay, I can see a few riders off in the distance. I'll kind of make an effort to join up with those guys. And I did manage to get on with them. Then it was just get to the finish, and I wasn't sure whether to like, have a go at pulling the Zwifty maneuver here or kind of taking it a bit easier. And I ended up just like kind of sticking with these guys until the end. I was kind of determined not to be place 69 because well, it's a kind of funny number. So I kind of have a go at a sprint finish. And I was surprised to kind of get into orange numbers here. I was feeling like really gassed at this point. So I managed to kind of cross the line, eke across 68th. So not like the best finish ever. But I found this race like insanely hard. I haven't done many races that have a lot of segments in them that are kind of like points races. So that was kind of a bit new for me. And I found it like really intense. But it was good fun to do that, and now it's out of the way. I'm really glad I did it. It was good fun to do, and I'm definitely like feeling a lot more fatigue from this now. I can, like, my legs are kind of really feeling it from the cumulative effort. So it'll be interesting to see how this kind of plays out. We've got some really brutal stages to come. There's another ITT tomorrow, and then we've got some really kind of monster events to come over the weekend. So. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.